What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This video is coming at you today because Instagram just rolled out an update that changed a couple things, which may result in you losing some followers. So let's get right into it. I'm going to explain what changed, why you may lose some followers, and what you can actually do to go about not losing those followers. So let's get right into it. Let's talk about it. Let's do it. So for anybody new here, my name is Ben. I make weekly videos on social media to provide you tips as well as updates to make sure you stay crushing it on social. So be sure to subscribe so you crush it. Cool. Thanks. So what did Instagram change and why might you lose some followers? Well, my good friend, I'm gonna walk you through all of that through the power of screen sharing. So we're gonna pop up my screen right here, jump right into my account at @benlevitt_. Follow if you haven't already. To see the changes, we're gonna need to go into our following list. So we're gonna click that, go into the list here, and this is just simply a list of everybody who you're following. And if you leave it in how it's sorted by default, that's an order constructed by Instagram and their algorithm based on who they feel that you have the deepest level of connection and best relationship with. And to tell you the truth, it's quite accurate. All these people I'm quite close with, so they definitely do a good job of tracking that type of interaction and relationship. So what you can change, and the changes they've made, is you can change how that's sorted. You can click the little arrow button here and you can change it for date followed the latest. So this is gonna be your most recent following, like who you followed the most recent. And then as well as the opposite. So you can go to who was your very first follower. And according to this, shout out to Ola. You were the very first person I followed. So Ola, big ups. So while that is one of the things that they changed, where I see the most people losing followers is the stuff above it. So who you're following is also put into two other categories, which you can see above. And those are most shown in feed. So those are gonna be accounts that have been most shown in your feed or their story, as it would suggest, and then least interacted with. And this is where I see the most people losing followers. So for a little more context as to what least interacted with means, you can click into here and they provide you with a little bit of explanation. So review accounts you've interacted with the least in the last 90 days, such as liking their posts or reacting to their stories. So Instagram is now gonna sort who you're following into these different categories. And if you end up into the least interacted with, that's essentially Instagram suggesting users to unfollow you. And I honestly think that will result in a lot of people unfollowing a lot of users. So I can already hear people out there saying that Instagram hates us and they want everybody to unfollow us. And while I feel your frustration, from a business perspective, this move makes a lot of sense. Instagram as a platform has been around for a long time, and that means that some users have been on the platform for a very long time. And naturally, as we go throughout life, as we age and mature, our interests change and who we interact with changes. So this is their attempt to try to refresh all of that, as well as to manipulate content distribution as well as consumption. If you've watched any of my other Instagram videos, you're probably aware that Instagram makes their money through keeping people on the platform as long as possible to consume more advertising. So by creatively encouraging people to go and unfollow anybody who they may no longer be interested in, that just increases Instagram's chance of showing their users content that they actually are going to be interested in. So while it may come across as kind of savage to suggest people to unfollow other users, it's actually quite a smart move. So now that you know what's been changed, your head likely goes right to how do I avoid getting thrown into that dreaded least interacted with category? Because obviously if you end up in there, there's definitely increased likelihood that you're going to lose followers because Instagram is essentially suggesting that to happen. And to avoid being put in there, I do have a few tips. The first one would be to create consistent and very high value content. And I know that's something I've said so many times before, but with how Instagram is changing and how much they're emphasizing the true aspect of relationship, creating high value content is the easiest and most organic way to create a relationship with a wide audience. Because if they interact with your content or share it with other people or save it for later because they felt it was so high value, that is a level of relationship that Instagram can track and is gonna keep you from going into that category and people may be unfollowing you. And that's definitely not a one size fits all solution. Value is gonna be very subjective and particular to you and your niche and what you do well. The second would be to reply to the people who are reaching out to you. So whether that be through your comment section or your DMs, take the time to actually go and interact with them. So this can be just replying to their comment, or it could be sending them a DM, a voice message, or a video message. This is gonna show to Instagram that there's a true relationship there, and it's going to ensure that your content keeps getting shown to those people, and also ensures that you don't get put into that least interacted with section. So I know it can be very tedious and time consuming, especially if you have a very large following, but it's going to be worth the time investment simply because of how Instagram is changing. The emphasis is being put on relationships. So this time that you're investing in now is going to ensure that your reach stays high, your engagement stays high, and that way you can continue to grow and expand to new potential followers and customers. And the third tip would actually be to reach out to people who haven't already reached out to you. So they haven't commented on your content, they haven't sent you a DM. And the reason for this is because not everyone uses Instagram the same way. Some people don't actually they don't use their engagement features, and they'd never be one to actually reach out and DM you, but they may consume a lot of content. So if you can reach out to them and show them gratitude and show them that you care and that you value them as a follower, that's dramatically going to increase the likelihood that they do start to interact with your content, but also increase the likelihood of you avoiding going into that dreaded suggested unfollow box. So Instagram is trying to put the social back in social media and really putting so much emphasis on relationships. So as a creator or as a brand, it's very, very important to interact with your community now more than ever. And again, I get it. If you have a very large audience, it's very difficult to reply to everyone because you're inundated with comments and you're inundated with messages. But the best thing you can do is to put effort and chip away at it. So what I do is I set aside a specific amount of time where all I do is go through and reply to as many comments and as many DMs as possible. This is obviously to show appreciation to your following, but it's also to help yourself out because it's going to increase the likelihood that Instagram continues to show them your content moving forward, which is just going to allow you to have a lot more success on the platform, a lot more success on other platforms, and a lot more success in your business. If you're looking for some Instagram growth advice, just popped up my hashtag tutorial video, which gives you tons of advice on how to leverage that tool to grow and expand your audience. So my question for you in the comments for this video is, with all these recent changes to Instagram, which one is your least favorite? Let me know which one has caused you the most grief in the comment section down below. Keep killing it, keep crushing it. I'll see you on IG. Peace.